What is it about our female friendships that can be so painful? This is what I believe women are craving most in the world, is connection, sisterhood, a deep shared bond with other women. Our female friendships are truly the most precious relationships that we have in our lives. These are the people we want to go to for emotional support. These are the girlfriends we want to call in the middle of the night to share our hearts with. But sometimes something happens along the way. Sometimes we experience an event in our lives that causes us to back away. Perhaps you've been ghosted or rejected, or maybe there was an outburst that tested your faith in having strong female friendships. Sometimes an old wound from a past relationship or a friendship will come out of nowhere and you'll feel triggered. We'll start obsessing and overthinking. What did I do wrong? Why did I trigger you so much that you felt the need to take your love away from me? We've been let down. We've been ghosted, rejected. Maybe there was an outburst. Maybe we feel like we can't fully trust other women again. We can't open up our hearts and be honest and bring in that open vulnerability and connection with others because we've been hurt in the past. Female friendships. This is what women are craving most. We're craving connection with other women. We want a sisterhood. We want to feel that kinship with other women. And so today I want to talk about the female friendship wound, how to heal it, how to move on, and how to love and accept and forgive ourselves, as well as learn to accept and love and forgive those who have hurt us in the past. We all feel a deep connection with our fellow women. It's a sisterhood. And I don't know if this feeling is biological in nature or cultural or if we learned it, but I really believe that intrinsically we all feel very connected to each other as women, and so many of us along the way lose faith in that connection. We're all gonna have friends that talk behind our backs and spread rumors and ghost us and reject us. But that's part of life, and that's part of what it means to be a human, having a human experience with other humans. If we're choosing to be friends with other humans, then that's what we sign up for. We are signing up for the heartbreak. We are signing up for the rejection and for the possibility that that friendship won't work out and that we'll be hurt in the process. That's what it means to be human and to have friendships. But it's so worth it. It's so worth the memories. I actually wrote a blog post years ago, I'll include it down below in the description box, about how my friendships have changed from my early 20s to my mid 20s, like how I approach friendships and how I view friendship dynamics have really changed. I'm a lot less attached. You can be the warmest, most interested person as a friend to another. You can listen to them and help them and support them and encourage them and be the most wonderful, loyal friend, but also not be attached and also not identify your worth and your self-love with another person. And you know, sometimes people just misinterpret what you say. Even if you're the most honest, kind person, there will always be people who think you're fake. There will always be people that think your joy is an act. There will always be people that misinterpret what you say because they're bringing it back into their own memories, right? They're bringing their own history, memories, experiences, thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and they're putting it onto you. We all see life through a filter. We see our friendships through filters. And sometimes we're in the wrong. Sometimes we mess up. Sometimes we reject them subconsciously because of our own wounds and our own triggers, and we feel uncomfortable by it. And so we act out. And we have to own that, you know? We have to own that sometimes we're the jerks. And we have to own that sometimes we are the ones that are doing the ghosting. Because when we own that, and when we acknowledge that consciously, we can then have more compassion for other people. And we can have more compassion for them because we understand. We get it. You know, Life experience, like actual real life experience, is one of the best ways to cultivate compassion, because through experience, travel, relationships, putting yourself out there, you learn things faster and you are more understanding and compassionate towards others who are also going through it as a result. I think one of the things that can really help us on our journey with having and cultivating female friendships in our lives is realizing that we don't have to take on their baggage, their burdens, their wounds, their triggers, their insecurities, and hold it for ourselves. We don't need to cultivate space for that. We can just let them be as they are. Their baggage is their baggage. Their wounds are their wounds, and I don't have to have anything to do with it. We can have that separateness while still engaging in harmonious, enjoyable relationships with other people. And then also, maybe we can just stop taking things so personally. Like, I know for me in my own life, I'm not a texter. When friends text me, I will not respond, sometimes for days. Maybe it's nothing to do with you. Maybe it's just that person doesn't like texting, and that person doesn't respond to texts well. And that person's more of a phone call person, or likes writing letters, or likes sending voice memos. We don't know. And so by eliminating that projection and that need to assume what other people are thinking, doing, or thinking about you, we've just lifted that weight off our shoulders. Personally, I have a few close friends in my life that I've been friends with for, 10 years, 15 years. These people are just my kindred spirits. They're my rocks. Sometimes we'll go a month or two without talking, and then we'll join forces again, and it's like no time has passed. Like, nothing's changed. We're exactly where we were 2 months ago. And I've also had friendships in my life, had sadder endings. And those relationships, you always kind of wonder why. Like, why did that person leave? Why did that person ghost me and never talk to me again? Those are the hardest ones, I think, to get over. The relationships where it's kind of like an argument or an outburst or a fallout of some kind, those are easier to get over, especially if you don't like the person. Like, I've had that in my own life. I've also had a friendship where it ended amicably, but there was just no need or reason to continue the friendship. And sometimes that happens too. One friendship I had with a girl in my town that I was living in, we met and I just instantly felt this connection. Like, I instantly felt this kindred spirit, like almost spiritual soul connection. And her and I got really close, and she was there the day I moved away. She was there, and we sent texts before I got on the plane, sent her letters, and then she just stopped responding. Like, literally, the minute I left on that plane, she never responded again to me. Never again. Just completely poofed off the radar. And yeah, and that was just it. And it took me a long time to get over that. It took me like a good 1.5 years to be like, what did I do wrong? Was it me? Like, obsessing over what did I do? I'll never know what really happened. I'll never know why she stopped responding. But then what's funny is 3 years later, she sent me a text wanting to catch up. It's like no time had passed, and she was back at it. And I very kindly, very nicely told her that I had changed, that I was a different person, which I was. I had a lot more self-love and self-worth. I believed in my worth more than I did 3 years earlier. And I just didn't, I wasn't able to reconcile that friendship. She was very kind. She just said she understood, and okay. It was a very amicable parting. You have to know your non-negotiables. You have to know the things that you will tolerate in friendships and the things you will not tolerate. We also should not feel obligated to still be friends with people from high school. This is something I struggle with a lot. I am a ride or dyer. When I'm good friends with you and we've built that connection, I am loyal to death. Loyal till death. And I have had to unlearn my belief that I don't have to stay best friends with people from high school, especially if I haven't talked to them in years or seen them in years. We only have so much room for people in our lives. And I love the idea of one can never have too many friends, but it's also so important to remember that quality is so much better than quantity. Having one best friend that is just everything to you and such a good friend, having 2 good friends is so much better than having 10. We will change just as our lives change. The impermanence of the relationship that was cultivated at that particular time in life is so beautiful. The impermanence is what makes our relationships so treasured and cherished. And we can appreciate that impermanence. We can appreciate the relationships that we have when we have them. And when we get really comfortable with impermanence and non-attachment, and remembering that everything is fleeting and nothing is ever the same for our entire lives, we learn to appreciate those times with those friends more. We appreciate the simple joys more. We appreciate the fleetingness that is life because we've cultivated a healthy relationship with impermanence. And when we find those friends, when we meet those kindred spirits that are in total alignment with who we are in that moment of our journey, when they are the perfect fit, we have to remember to appreciate them and to enjoy the connection while we have it.